Hey, welcome to the Mind Spark. It's the headline that chills the nation, an event so rare and alarming that it instantly captures the world's attention. Yellowstone National Park is closed. For the first time in living memory, the gates to this natural wonder are shut tight. The gates are locked, visitors evacuated, and chaos ripples through the news. Families on vacation are turned away, their plans upended in an instant. Overnight, a massive crack split the earth near the Grand Prismatic Spring, steam billowing from its depths, painting an eerie scene against the morning light. Park rangers and geologists scramble, concern etched on their faces as they assess the growing danger. What's happening beneath America's most iconic park? The question echoes across the country. The story began with a series of tremors, small at first, then growing in strength and frequency, rattling nerves and raising alarms. The sudden fissure forced authorities to shut down the park in an unprecedented move, prioritizing safety above all else. Official statements urge calm, but the urgency is unmistakable. The world senses the gravity of the situation. Yellowstone isn't just a park. It's a supervolcano, a sleeping giant whose power dwarfs anything we can imagine. For decades we've admired its beauty, marveling at its geysers and hot springs, often ignoring the immense power lurking below. Now that giant seems to be stirring, sending tremors of fear and uncertainty across the globe. The closure and the mysterious crack are more than geological events. They're warnings, signs that nature's balance is shifting. News channels and social media buzz with one question: is Yellowstone about to erupt? The speculation is relentless. Never before has the park been sealed off so quickly, with such urgency and scale. Tension hangs in the air as images show empty roads and deserted landmarks, places once filled with laughter now eerily silent. Scientists race to deploy sensors and drones over the chasm, desperate for answers, hoping to unlock the secrets hidden beneath the surface. The world watches, holding its breath, as updates pour in from every corner of the globe. This isn't just a local crisis, it's a global alert, a reminder of how connected we all are to the forces of nature. The delicate balance holding Yellowstone's power in check may be shifting, and the consequences could be felt far beyond the park's borders. We are in uncharted territory, facing questions that have no easy answers. The frantic work of scientists is a race against time, as they analyze data and search for any sign of what might come next. The world waits, hoping for the best, bracing for the worst, united in suspense as Yellowstone's fate hangs in the balance. To truly grasp the danger that lies beneath, you must first witness the breathtaking beauty that draws millions here each year. Yellowstone is a place where the wild and the wonderful collide, a landscape shaped by forces both ancient and alive. Here, fire and water are locked in an endless dance, geysers erupt skyward, hot springs bubble with vibrant colors, and deep canyons are carved by the relentless power of nature's raw energy. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone stuns with its painted walls streaked in gold and red, and its roaring waterfalls that thunder into the depths below, echoing through the ages. The Grand Prismatic Spring dazzles with its vivid rainbow-like colors, a swirling window into the Earth's fiery heart, where heat and minerals create a living masterpiece. Steam rises and drifts, shrouding the landscape in a veil of mystery, hinting at the powerful forces hidden just beneath the surface. Old Faithful, the world's most famous geyser, erupts with astonishing regularity, a symbol of nature's power and predictability in a land defined by chaos. But Old Faithful is just one of over 500 geysers here, each with its own rhythm and story, making Yellowstone the most active geyser field on Earth. Yellowstone is the planet's largest geothermal wonderland, bubbling and hissing with life, its surface alive with color, sound, and motion. The ground itself seems to breathe, rising and falling with the pressure from below, a living reminder that the earth here is never truly still. Every mud pot, every fumarole, every geyser is a vent for the supervolcano beneath, a reminder that this land is shaped by forces far greater than ourselves. For generations we've marveled at these wonders, drawn by their beauty and mystery, never fully understanding the power that lies below. Now, with the park closed and a new crack splitting the earth, we're forced to see these wonders not just as attractions, but as signs of something deeper and more ominous. Yellowstone's beauty is inseparable from its danger. The same forces that create such splendor also hold the potential for unimaginable destruction. The landscape is alive, constantly shifting and evolving, never the same from one moment to the next. New springs appear where none existed before, while old ones vanish, leaving behind barren ground, a testament to the restless energy below. The Earth's warnings are written in steam and stone, in cracks that open without warning, and in the ever-present hiss of escaping gas. What we once saw as natural wonders are now reminders of the sleeping giant below, a force that could awaken at any time. Yellowstone's wonders are more than just beautiful sights. They are the surface expression of unimaginable power, a living testament to the dynamic Earth beneath our feet. What makes Yellowstone so unique and so dangerous? It's a question that has fascinated scientists and explorers for generations. Yellowstone is a place of breathtaking beauty, but beneath its serene surface lies a force of unimaginable power. It's not just a volcano, it's a supervolcano, one of the most powerful natural features on Earth. Unlike classic volcanoes with towering peaks, Yellowstone's caldera is a vast sunken crater, so immense it's almost invisible from the ground. It stretches 45 by 30 miles, so massive it's only truly visible from space, dwarfing anything else in the region. Beneath the surface, a hot spot from the Earth's mantle feeds a gigantic magma chamber, a reservoir of molten rock that fuels the park's dramatic features. This underground lake of fire powers all the park's geysers and hot springs, creating a landscape that seems almost otherworldly. The pressure is immense, building as magma and gas accumulate, constantly pushing against the Earth above. Yellowstone's history is violent. 3 colossal eruptions in the last 2.1 million years have reshaped the continent. Each eruption was thousands of times more powerful than any eruption in recorded history, sending ash and debris across the globe. These weren't just eruptions, they were planet-altering events, changing the course of life and climate on Earth. The calderas left behind define the landscape today, vast scars that remind us of nature's raw power. The giant has slept for a long time, but it's not extinct. Its presence is felt in every steaming vent and bubbling spring. It's alive and the pressure continues to build, a silent warning beneath the surface. Scientists know this system can awaken with devastating force, and they monitor it constantly for signs of change. The difference between a volcano and a supervolcano is scale, and Yellowstone's scale is almost unimaginable, dwarfing even the largest volcanoes. Its eruptions have shaped continents, changed climates, and left a mark on the planet that can still be seen today. The magma chamber below is a ticking clock, a reminder that the forces of nature are always at work, even when we can't see them. The signs of unrest, earthquakes, shifting ground, and bursts of steam are reminders that the giant is only sleeping, not gone. Yellowstone's power is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a testament to the dynamic planet we call home. The world cannot afford to ignore its warnings. Understanding Yellowstone is not just about science, it's about preparing for the future and respecting the forces that shape our world. Yellowstone's closure wasn't taken lightly. It was triggered by alarming changes underground. The new fissure is just the most visible sign. Seismic activity has surged, with swarms of small earthquakes shaking the park. These quakes often signal magma and superheated fluids moving below. Geysers like Steamboat have erupted more frequently and violently, a sign of rising pressure. The entire geothermal system is becoming more unpredictable. Ground deformation is another warning. Satellite data shows the caldera swelling like a balloon under a rug. This uplift means the magma chamber is filling, increasing the risk. These signs, the cracked quakes, hyperactive geysers, and swelling ground, form a troubling pattern. Alone, they might be dismissed as normal. Together, they reveal a restless volcanic system. The giant isn't just stirring, it may be waking up. Every tremor and plume of steam is a reminder of the power below. Yellowstone's warnings are growing louder. What if Yellowstone erupts? The consequences would be catastrophic. The initial blast would dwarf anything in modern history, thousands of times more powerful than Mount St. Helens. Pyroclastic flows would obliterate everything for hundreds of miles. A colossal ash cloud would rise into the stratosphere, spreading across North America. Cities could be buried under feet of ash, collapsing buildings and crippling infrastructure. Water supplies would be contaminated, power grids would fail, and transportation would halt. But the disaster wouldn't stop there. Ash would circle the globe, triggering a volcanic winter. Sunlight would be blocked, global temperatures would plummet, and crops would fail. Famine would spread as food supplies collapse. The eruption of Mount Tambora caused the year without a summer. Yellowstone would be far worse. The global economy would shatter, and society would be thrown into chaos. This isn't just a national threat, it's a planetary emergency. Yellowstone's eruption could reset human history. With so much at stake, Yellowstone is one of the world's most closely monitored volcanoes. The Yellowstone Volcano Observatory uses hundreds of seismometers, GPS stations, and gas sensors to track every movement. These instruments detect earthquakes, ground swelling, and changes in gas emissions, critical warning signs. Data streams in 24/7, analyzed for any sign of trouble. If multiple indicators change at once, alarms sound. While we can't predict the exact moment of eruption, this monitoring could give days or weeks of warning. That time could save millions through evacuation. Science is our first line of defense against the supervolcano. The immediate blast zone would be just the beginning. Ash would fall like toxic snow, clogging engines, collapsing power grids, and contaminating water. Agriculture would be devastated. Crops smothered, livestock poisoned, the Midwest rendered barren. A global food crisis would follow, with nations facing starvation as trade collapses. The climate would suffer. Most sulfur dioxide would create a haze, reflecting sunlight and plunging the world into a volcanic winter. Temperatures would drop, growing seasons would shrink, and hunger would spread. Societies would face economic collapse, mass displacement, and conflict over resources. Governments could fall, and international cooperation might break down. The world would become colder, darker, and more desperate. A Yellowstone supereruption is a civilization-ending event. It could reset human progress, forcing us to fight for survival. The stakes are nothing less than the future of humanity. Can we stop a supereruption? Some bold ideas have been proposed, like NASA's plan to cool the magma chamber by drilling and pumping water. The concept: circulate water deep underground to draw out heat, slowly reducing pressure. Theoretically, it could neutralize the threat over thousands of years and generate geothermal energy. But the risks are enormous. Drilling could trigger the very eruption we fear. The cost would be astronomical, and the technology is unproven. Most scientists agree it's too dangerous to tamper with the beast. Our best defense is vigilant monitoring and rapid response. Knowledge, not engineering, is our greatest weapon. The focus must remain on understanding and predicting Yellowstone's behavior. For now, we watch, we learn, and we prepare. The news from Yellowstone is alarming, but panic isn't the answer. The odds of a super eruption in our lifetime are extremely low, about 1 in 730,000 each year. Scientists worldwide are working tirelessly to monitor and understand these threats. Their research gives us time to evacuate, time to prepare. Supporting science is crucial for our safety. On a personal level, preparedness is wise. Keep emergency supplies, know your community's plans, and stay informed. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment and resilience. Yellowstone reminds us of nature's awesome power and our responsibility to respect it. We must cherish these wild places, even as we heed their warnings. The story of Yellowstone is about more than disaster. It's about our dynamic planet and our shared resilience. By understanding the risks and preparing, we can coexist with this sleeping giant. Hope and knowledge are our best tools. The future depends on vigilance, science, and the human spirit. But what if the unthinkable happened? The long-term environmental impacts of a Yellowstone supereruption would echo for generations. Ash clouds could block sunlight for months, drastically cooling global temperatures, a phenomenon known as volcanic winter. Crops would struggle to grow, leading to food shortages and economic strain. Wildlife, too, would face unprecedented challenges. Many species might migrate, adapt, or even disappear as habitats are transformed by ash, cold, and scarcity. Rivers and lakes could become clogged, altering entire ecosystems. Recovery would be slow, measured in decades or even centuries. Yet, history shows that life is resilient. Over time, forests would regrow, animals would return, and new ecosystems would emerge from the ashes. The scars on our planet would tell a story, not just of destruction, but of regeneration and adaptation. Yellowstone's shadow would be long, but not endless. Our greatest lesson: nature endures, and so can we. Beyond the environmental devastation, a Yellowstone supereruption would send shockwaves through the global economy. As ash blankets vast regions, major airports and highways across the United States could shut down, crippling transportation and supply chains. Businesses dependent on just-in-time deliveries would grind to a halt, while the cost of goods would skyrocket. Pause 1S, tourism, a lifeline for communities near Yellowstone, would vanish overnight, leaving hotels, restaurants, and tour operators facing ruin. The ripple effect would reach global travel, as iconic destinations become inaccessible, and travelers rethink their plans. Insurance companies would be overwhelmed by claims for property damage and business interruption, potentially leading to insolvency and a ripple of financial instability. Meanwhile, the cost to repair infrastructure, roads, power grids, water systems, would soar into the hundreds of billions, straining government resources and potentially reshaping national budgets. The world's interconnected markets would not escape unscathed. Shortages of American agricultural exports could drive up food prices everywhere, pushing vulnerable populations into crisis. In this scenario, economic resilience becomes as critical as scientific preparedness. Recovery would demand not just rebuilding, but reimagining how we support communities, protect livelihoods, and adapt to a changed world. In the wake of devastation, the world would be forced to unite as never before. Governments, scientists, and humanitarian organizations would mobilize for a massive recovery effort, sharing resources, expertise, and technology across borders. International aid would flow to the hardest-hit regions, providing food, shelter, and medical care to millions in need. Collaboration would extend beyond immediate relief. Global leaders would convene to coordinate economic recovery, stabilize food supplies, and ensure the continuity of critical supply chains. Meanwhile, scientists from every continent would join forces to study the aftermath, using new satellite networks and advanced sensors to track ash dispersal, climate changes, and volcanic activity in real time. This unprecedented crisis could also spark innovation. Investments in early warning systems, disaster-resistant infrastructure, and cross-border emergency protocols would accelerate. Researchers might develop new methods for monitoring magma movement and predicting eruptions with greater accuracy, potentially transforming how humanity lives alongside supervolcanoes. Through shared hardship, international cooperation would become a foundation for resilience. The lessons learned from Yellowstone's fury could inspire a generation of scientists, policymakers, and citizens to build a safer, more prepared world, one where the shadow of supervolcanoes is met not with fear, but with hope and determination. As the dust settles from Yellowstone's eruption, humanity stands at a crossroads, shaped by loss, but also by the strength found in unity. The crisis has taught us that preparedness isn't just a plan, but a mindset. From local communities practicing drills to nations investing in robust early warning systems, readiness can save lives. Science has emerged as our guiding light. The rapid advances in monitoring technology, global data sharing, and volcanic research remind us that knowledge is our most powerful shield against natural disasters. Every breakthrough, every shared discovery, brings us closer to predicting and perhaps one day preventing catastrophic events. But above all, Yellowstone's story is one of hope. In the face of unimaginable adversity, the world came together, not just to survive but to rebuild, innovate, and dream of a safer future. The lessons we carry forward are clear. Through preparation, scientific progress, and global solidarity, we can weather any storm and rise stronger from the ashes. The shadow of Yellowstone will always linger, but so too will the light of human resilience.